Hey guys! So I said I'd be back with the mail haul, and I am. I recently just got a new bookshelf where you can see over there with my little helper, Endy. You can wave, Endy. Or, you know, kind of cat scream, I guess. But anyway, so I finally have a dedicated shelf to my mail haul again, which is really really nice because it's just right here. All right, so without further ado, I have just finished Tandem. This book is amazing. My review is already up on Goodreads and Amazon. You can check out the review of this on the Book Addicts, which is where all of my physical books that I physically own will be reviewed at. You can check that review out there. The next book I am going to be reading next is Poison. This is a really short book, so I'm hoping to have this done by the end of today. All right, so books. So first off, we have the uppercase book of the month, which was Hunted. This, I cannot wait to dive into this. I will be doing that sometime after this weekend because it's part of my book club, so I'll be reading it with them. All right, next is not a book, but I got a Funko Pop Beauty and the Beast. This is a little beast. We're part of Disney Rewards, so every time you bought a DVD or you go see a movie that's Disney, you can get points. So that's how I got him. He was 750 points and free shipping, so that's really nice. All right, so next we got the Vampire Academy, the official illustrated movie companion. I didn't even know they had this for that movie. This I actually found at the Dollar Tree. So it was pretty interesting. So there's that one. The next one, this is via Night Owl Reviews, and it is called Life is Beautiful. Of course, it deals with the coloring craze. This one is a little bit different. It has actual live photos or real photos, and then you color around them, which I thought was a really interesting concept. And there's another peacock. And let's see what else is on here. I got something other than birds. And there's some flowers, and they're all just like that. This is a pretty interesting concept for the coloring books. It was pretty neat. That was pretty interesting. All right, next is the ARCs. We got, oh, this isn't an ARC. Why is this down there? That goes up there. Never mind, I lied. All right, so next is the ARCs. This is called Finding You. This is by Joe Watson. This is actually book 3 in this series, and this comes out in May. And this is from Forever. Next up is an ARC from, was it Algonquin? I think that is. And it's called Be True to Me. This is a YA, and this one comes out in June. The next one is from Blank Publishing. This is Solo. This comes out in August of this year. We will have a very early review of this up on the site soon because we've actually already done with that one. Next is The Enchantment of Emma Fletcher. This one, I actually don't know when it comes out. When does this come out? It comes out, oh, this one came out back on March 13th. Next is Amanda Scott's The Reluctant Highlander, a Highlander romance. This one comes out in June, and this one looks really good. The next one is one that I already have book 1 and book 2 pulled to be able to reread them. I really love being able to reread books, and I don't normally get the time to do so, but since I really want to reread these books before I read the following one because so much is involved in them, I pulled them to read them, and I will be reading this really soon, probably within the next 2 weeks, and it is the 3rd book from Kathleen Baldwin's, I don't remember what the... was it? Oh, Strange House. I never remember what the series is called. A Strange House novel, and it is what is it? Refuge for Masterminds, and this one is about Lady Jane. And I cannot wait to read this. I'm so excited that I have this. I loved The School for Unusual Girls, and what was book 2? Oh, Exile for Dreamers. They were amazing. If you haven't checked this series out, I would tell you to do so because it was so good. And this comes out in May as well. The next one is another one that I really can't wait to read, and it is book 2 of, what is this? Book 1 was The Queen of Blood. I read this the end of last year, and it was so good. This is book 2. This is called The Reluctant Queen. Book 2 of the Queens of Renthia? Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This one actually doesn't come out until July. It doesn't say July, my birthday month. This is another one that we will be having an early review up on the site for, but I really can't wait to read this. If you haven't read this, is another one that you need to read. This is like a really good, like in between book between YA, young adult, and new adult. It's really easy to follow. The world is just breathtakingly stunning. You've got trees that they're so humongous you can walk on them. You have the Fae, which if I remember correctly, they just call them like the woodland spirits type thing. But it was so good, and it had one killer ending, and I really can't wait to read this book. Alright, so next is Starfall. This one I actually got via a book group that I am a part of, where once a month there is a group of people, and then so like we have 5 people, so for the people for this time around, 4 people are sending me a book, and then the next month 4 of us send the next person a book. So it's a really interesting way to get books off your wish list and maybe find other books that you may not have decided to read or didn't think that you would read. So I got a bookmark that says, "Shoot for the moon, even if you miss it, you will land among the stars." I really love that quote. That's from Les Brown. I really like that quote. But this book is book 2 from Starflight. This is from Melissa Landers. She wrote the Alienated series as well. Book 1 of this was amazing. I haven't read book 2, but I'm really excited to be able to do so. Oh wait, that one goes that way because that's mine. The next one is a finished copy from, let's see, this is Harlequin. This is like a love song. This is a finished copy. It says, "Love is a many-flavored thing. It can go from vanilla to rainbow sprinkles in the blink of an eye." Next is from Candace Camp, A Perfect Gentleman. This is adult romance. Next is one I actually found at the used bookstore, the library bookstore. I happened to see this when I was walking up this, walking into the store. I just kind of saw it through the window sitting like this, and I could see it. And I was like, oh, I need that book. I don't remember where I keep seeing this. I think it might be one of the advertisements for Amazon or one of the newsletters that I'm a part of. But I kept seeing, I know I've seen this cover before, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to grab it. I haven't read it yet, of course, but it was $1.15. It looks amazing. This is called The Emperor's Arrow. I don't even know if this is even book 1. I don't even know. I have to look it up. Doesn't say. So I have to look that up, but it looks so good. The next one is called City Mouse. This is from Akashic Books. This is a fiction contemporary women's. And see, it says, "A fiercely funny debut about what it means to find your place and the thorny pursuit to have it all." And that one looks pretty cute. The next one is actually book 3 from the Reliquary series from Sarah Fine. This one I was raving about I think sometime last year. I read the first book, which was Reliquary. This is book 3. I still need to grab book 2. This is another one from my group, and I really can't wait to finish this series. I didn't care so much for Sarah Fine's young adult novels, but this being new adult, it just works. That's all there is to it. The next one is actually one I physically won from I Read YA, and it is a paperback copy of All Fall Down from Allie Carter, so I'm really excited to read this one as well. Next, this is book something in this series. This is part of the Green Rider series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is book 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is book 5 in this series so far. This is called Mere Sight. This is the sequel to Black Veil. The first book is Green Rider. It's something that I read back when I was a teenager, and I really loved it. And I didn't even know that they had sequels to it. So this isn't something, of course, the size of this is not something that I'm going to be diving into anytime soon. But I really do hope to reread this series completely because I really loved book 1 to this. So I'm really excited to see how it all turned out. And I think there's more along the way as well. There's more coming out. The next one is the Ada Decades. This one, This is from Bywater Books. I really like this cover. This looks interesting. I like all the newspaper clippings. That's neat. I'm not exactly sure what this one is about, but it says to have Paula's novel first thing in 2017 is necessary. Her lesbian feminist fiction keeps us going. So I guess this deals with LGBT. Let's see. I guess she deals that Ada Shook graduates from college on a scholarship. Her name is Carol. Oh no, she's from Carolina. Okay, Ada Shook, I guess that's what her name is. She finds herself caught in the ugly fight to integrate the North Carolina public schools. So it looks pretty interesting. Next is one that I did a trade for, which is Sweet Temptation. This is by Wendy Higgins. This deals with, I think, the bind-ups of the other books. I don't know. Okay, this is a companion novel to the Sweet Evil trilogy. It is parts of the story told from Caden Rowe's point of view. It's not meant to be a standalone novel. However, I've tried to incorporate as much as possible from the original books. Okay, so for those who have read the first three, I should warn you that being in Caden's head is far different from being in Anna's. His thoughts are darker and rougher and, well, naughtier. Keep in mind, when the story begins, Anna has just turned 16 and Caden is 17. By the last third of the story, Anna is 18 and Kai is 19. So the crossover from young adult to adult was the natural progression of their story. Happy reading, sweeties. Kai awaits. I really loved the series, so I'm really excited to be able to have this as well. All right, next is These Are My People from Mark Rickett. This is from Right Life. It says, what would it be like to be part of country music history? The next one is one that I found at the used bookstore as well, and it is the first book of the Lady Sherlock series. This is The Study in Scarlet Women. This is by Sherry Thomas. As far as I remember, she also writes young adult, but I didn't care for her young adult books, so I'm really excited to check out her more adult titles. All right, so next we're going to hardbacks. First one is All in Pieces. I actually still have an ARC of this, and I still haven't gotten to it, but I will be doing that here shortly. I'm actually going to be incorporating this into like a Suzanne Young week of reading the entire program series, plus the prequels, and then those. I'm trying to really get this done. I only have 15 minutes to get these done, or I have to edit it, and I really don't want to have to do that. All right, so next is Unfolding. Next one after that is Hello Universe. Dream Forever. This is the final book in this series. The next one is a gigantic bind-up series of Volume 1 and 2 of the life and death of, I'm not even a Finch. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. All right, the next one is one from J. Neil Patrick, who is also Jackson Pierce. This is, I think this is set in Romania? I don't remember. But this looked really interesting. The next one is The Ones. This is from Imprint. The next one after that, of course, is King's Cage. I finally got a copy of it. The next one after that is The Wish Granter, which is book 2 to The Shadow Queen. I really can't wait to read this one as well. The next one, I found a used copy of Famous in Love, since the TV series is coming out on the 18th of next month. I really wanted to reread the story before I watched the TV series. The next one is from R.L. Stine, Give Me a Kill. This is from Thomas Dunn Books. The next one is Your Welcome Universe. This is from Knopf. And then last but not least, this is Just Fly Away from Andrew McCarthy from Algonquin. And he will actually be here in Florida in April. So he will be at Books and Books in Miami at Coral Gables. I think it said April 14th, but don't quote me on that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to have more books to show you by the end of next month. And I'm going to get out of here. Bye!